Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Lisa Renee TV. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Make sure that you subscribe today before you leave. Make sure to thumbs up the video if you do like what you see, and to share on all your social media networks that you happen to be on this time. Welcome back, guys. Hello. I'm so happy to be back in front of the camera as always. I did want to just pop in real quick and just cover this topic that has been going on in the news lately. A lot of people have heard about it, but if you're new to it, then I definitely want to hear your opinion on it, and I hope everybody's having a happy weekend so far. Okay, so this case, Amber Geiger and Botham John. Amber Geiger is 31. Botham John was 26. Notice I said was. Unfortunately, Botham John is no longer with us, so definitely condolences to his family. I know that they're going through an extreme emotional hardship right now with his loss. Basically, I mean, it's a huge tragedy. So people have kind of been going on and on about the tragedy itself, but then the aftermath of what has happened in court. Okay, so I looked on a few different websites, and one I'm looking at is the norwichbulletin.com. Okay, so they just gave just a brief, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the case, very short, just in case it's the first time you're hearing about this. But I'm pretty sure most people have heard of it already. So there were few dry eyes in a Texas courtroom Wednesday after sentencing a high-profile case. A jury gave former Dallas police officer Amber Geiger 10 years in state prison after being found guilty of murder. Now, later, the victim's brother would ask for and receive the okay, check this, to hug Geiger. Yes, his brother asked to give her a hug while they were still in the courtroom. Okay, so Geiger entered the wrong apartment last year after leaving work for the day, and she claims that she believed that Botham John, 26, was an intruder, and she shot him as he watched TV and ate ice cream, prosecutors said. Now, John is black, if you haven't guessed it already. He's black and she's white. That led to tensions between the city's black community and the police. So Geiger's defense team claims she was tired after working a long day and became confused when entering the complex's parking garage. She parked on the wrong level and thought John's apartment was hers. It was a series of mistakes, but not a crime, they said. The jurors disagreed. I'm glad they disagreed. So after the sentencing, victim impact statements were read, and several members of John's family and circle of friends spoke, including his brother, Brant John. Now, this is where it got interesting. He said to her, "I love you as a person, and I don't wish anything bad on you," Brant John, who's 18, told Geiger, according to the Washington Post. He told Geiger that he forgave her and then stunned the courtroom observers by asking if he can give her a hug. The two soon embraced in a moment that caught eyes around the world. Dallas County District Attorney John Cruzat was stunned, calling the hug an amazing act of healing. "I would hope that the greater community, and not just Dallas, not just Texas, but the greater U.S. would gain a message from that." The judge, Tammy Kemp, also hugged Geiger. In addition, Kemp gave Geiger a Bible to take with her to prison. Okay, so, wow. So with that just being said, in itself, let's just take that in for a moment. So, I mean, he just, first of all, him and his family, him and his mother are dealing with this incredible loss of having found out that their brother and son have been murdered by this woman. It's this ex-cop who did not know, her son from Adam. Don't know him from a can of Valspar paint in Home Depot. Don't know him, and has taken his life, so easily. And then to see, her other son, go and say, "Well, I want to hug this person. I want to forgive this person." So a lot of people, this didn't sit well with them. They just didn't understand why he would offer forgiveness to this kind of person who did such a heinous thing to them. Now, now clearly they're Christian. Okay, now Geiger also has been, there were some tweets that came out, and there's some things that she said some time ago to like a friend that she was talking to, and they were pretty much racist. So I mean, this is a racist woman. She's probably not a very Christian woman, and so yeah, I mean, she's got some work to do on herself, and his family is Christian. So as Christians, of course, we definitely know all about forgiveness, that we're charged to, forgive those who trespass against us. Now, some people were saying that, like I was watching the Ricky Smiley show, and, they were saying Christianity or religion has kind of bamboozled black people, and why do they feel like they need to, forgive people, especially their oppressor, somebody like that, So I think that it's definitely a heavier issue because of the fact that she's white, he's black, so people, it automatically becomes a race thing, whether it was or not. Because I feel like, I mean, from what they're saying, okay, she's confused, she parked on the wrong level. Now, it's a whole lot that's wrong with this case. I mean, it could be a racial thing. I feel like, was she under the influence of something? Because I mean, you would have to be. Because I just don't understand. I never understood. When I first heard the story, I'm like, how do you walk into, first of all, how did her key open his door? That's what I want to know. One, not unless his door was already open. Two, like, how you not recognize your own house? I'm like, did anybody stop and think, like, before we even get to the murder, like, how did she walk into his house and not realize, like, wait a minute, I don't have no paint on the wall. I don't have a cat. Like, what? Like, why is my TV going? Like, I mean, what burglar coming to your house and turn on the TV? Like, they're not about to turn on the TV. They're going to take the TV and leave. Then they'll turn it on when they plug it up at their house. I mean, like, why in the world? I mean, it's just so much that wasn't right. So that's why I think it went racial, because people were like, I mean, she comes in, she sees this black guy. I mean, were they thinking like she just took an opportunity to kill, this black guy? But I think it's just a little bit more to it than that, because when it comes to an intruder, I don't condone what she did at all, but I just feel like it don't really matter what color the intruder is. If you think somebody's in your house, you do have a right to defend yourself. I mean, you're going to defend yourself regardless if you think somebody in your house. Like, if I see if a man is in my house, I don't care if he white, black, whatever, I'm going off. If I have a weapon, yes, I'm going to drop my weapon. But another thing is, she's an ex-cop. So I feel like she is better trained to deal with these types of things. Like, before she shoots, she could have been like, all right, come out, put your hands up, She could have done something like that, or use a taser gun, as opposed to just like shooting first and never asking questions. Like, she didn't try to figure out what was going on. But I just feel like her instincts were way off. She didn't try to, dig a little deeper. I can understand the fear that you're in. I mean, if you are sensing that there's an intruder in your home, yeah, you scared. But see, you an ex-cop though, so you're a little bit different than the average citizen. You just are, So you should be better equipped with how to handle this. That's why people are feeling like, was this some sort of racial thing? Like, what is this about? Because, no. Like that's not how you as an ex-cop would handle that situation. Like, you did poorly. Why did this guy lose his life? I mean, this is dumb. This whole thing, So I just feel like it's like definitely some weird foul play, and then she only gets 10 years. A lot of people are saying that's not enough because she's probably going to be out in 5 on parole. Yeah, I think so. I think they should have definitely given her more, because it's a situation where twisted around and it was one of us killing one of them. Yeah. They would have tried to throw us under the jail, So I do think, yeah, they definitely should have given her way more time than what they did. They kind of, played it safe, and yeah. So it just, I think it's a lot of BS going on, is what it is, So yeah. So about the hug. Okay. Now I felt a couple of different ways. I feel like, okay, as a Christian woman myself, I do think forgiveness is very important because you're going to have to find a way to move past your pain. So I believe in you have to forgive for yourself. There's a difference between I'm forgiving for somebody else, meaning I'm forgiven and I'm waiting on some kind of reaction from this person. Like, that's not what you do. But forgive for yourself. So I watched another YouTube video on it, and they were saying that he could have forgiven her but kept it to himself, like he didn't really have to tell her. I think that's true. I think that that's a good point. Like, he didn't necessarily have to publicize the fact that, he forgave this woman. I'm not sure why he felt the need to publicize it. Like, I wouldn't let her get off, so easily. But I think that during a time like this, I mean, emotions are high, and so people are not really thinking, rationally. They're not thinking, how they normally would be. I mean, who knows, what kind of reaction you're going to get out of a person who's grieving, and they're just sometimes you're grieving and you go through something painful like that, having your loved one taken from you in such a way, you just want it to be over. Okay, so you just want the pain to be stopped, and so it could have been his way of like trying to eradicate what he was feeling, so he may say, well, I'm just gonna, forgive this person because, of course, him being Christian, he has been taught better, so of course he knows, yes, forgiveness is on the path at some point anyway. So I guess he figured now is as good a time as any to go ahead and say, I forgive you, and I hope that you get on paths of becoming a better person. And I just don't think that he was thinking that it was such a big deal, but it rubbed a lot of people. A lot of people felt like, why are you forgiving, this person? So, so because when you look in Colossians 3:13, bearing with one another, and if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other as the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive. Matthew 6:12, from the Lord's Prayer, and forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. So basically, you've been charged with the task of forgiving. And forgiveness is a difficult thing, especially when someone's taking your child, taking your brother. It's rough. It's hard to forgive people who have hurt us. So, I've had things happen to me, and, it's hard when you think, like, how do I forgive someone, who would do such a thing to me, that would put me in such a predicament? You want to forgive this person because it feels like they're taking something from you. But when you forgive them, you get your power back, as opposed to saying, I'm going to withhold this, I'm going to keep this rage going. They're taking power from you. So it's really the other way around. But I think as far as should he have publicized it, I mean, it's up to him. He's the victim. I mean, yeah, right. It's a lot going on here. I mean, he chose to come out with it, let's just hope this doesn't work against him in the fact that he decided to, come out and, be public about it. But speaking of public apologies, not apology, public forgiveness, didn't the Facebook killer, remember the Facebook killer a few years ago, the guy who went on Facebook Live, I believe it was, and his girlfriend had dumped him and hurt him, broke his heart, so he decided he was going to go out and kill somebody to get back at her, which was like really idiotic, and he killed that old man. And didn't that family, I remember that family saying on news report that they forgive him, like, but that was black on black though. He was a black guy and they were a black family, and nobody said anything about the public forgiveness. So why is it different here? Because she's a white lady, and are we saying that, we shouldn't be forgiving like a white debtor, when a white person has a debt against us, has done something to us, we shouldn't forgive them publicly? Like, I think that's the case. That's why it's rubbing people so hard. When you think back to civil rights, slavery, still unfair advantages today. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take on, So it's gonna rub people, in the wrong way. But I do remember distinctly that family, having that interview and they did forgive that man publicly. So it's really no different with this case. So what do you guys think about this? Do you think that he should have hugged her and forgiven her publicly? Do you think that he went a step too far? Do you think the sentence was too light? Do you feel like that she should have got more than 10 years? Like, what are you all's thoughts on this case? You know, I definitely would love to hear your thoughts on this case. So definitely let me know in the comments below. I'm also going to share the video to Twitter, Facebook, so you can let me know there as well. But that's all. That's all I have for you guys. I just want to drop in and, you know, talk about that real quick and just get you guys thoughts on it, because it's been going back and forth. I've been hearing so many views, so I definitely got to hear my lovelies. Got to hear you all's views as well. So you guys have a beautiful weekend, and I should be back soon. And other than that, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.